I wasn't doing it for money. I was doing it to feed an addiction. I had $11 in the bank when I was arrested. Addiction is a disease. It's a disease that feeds on your selfishness. It started with drinking when I was very young, and then, of course, smoking pot. Everyone says, it's just pot. Well, it was definitely a gateway. If I was weak enough to do pot, what came next was ecstasy. And then I've tried meth for the first time when I was 15, and that's where it got out of control.
Well, Dana's story isn't unique in the sense that there are a lot of people that are in the same situation as she was, but what's particularly sad about it is that she was an addict, really. She was addicted to methamphetamine, and so the crime that she committed basically was based on the fact that she was an addict. And so instead of dealing with the underlying problem, we simply incarcerated her. And that's just such a backwards way to deal with a really big problem of addiction.
I never stole to feed my addiction. I didn't go out maliciously to hurt anyone to feed my addiction. However, I did sell drugs just enough to keep me high. The jury did not know how much time I was facing when I was convicted. They had absolutely no idea that the judges are bound by guidelines and by mandatory minimums. And during my sentencing, he stated that I know this is a harsh sentence. This is a very harsh sentence, and I'm giving you the lowest I can, which was still almost 20 years.
So you've got a 19-year sentence. You go in with an addiction, and they're not actually going to treat it until the last 18 months of your sentence, the last year and a half of your sentence. It's backwards. You should treat the person as soon as they get in, help them get over the addiction, and then release them.
I needed time. I needed time to get my head straight. I definitely needed an inpatient, rehab at least. What do I want to do with the rest of my life when I do get out? I had a stack of certificates when I applied for my 2-point reduction. My biggest hurdle has been finding a job.
You have to, of course, admit that you have a felony record when you apply for a job. Some companies don't want people who are felons.
I work for United Supermarkets right now. They gave me a chance. It's not enough to support myself yet. Some people just cannot hire felons.
Even after someone has paid their dues to society, they have spent decades in prison, they still continue to be punished for the rest of their life, really.
I gave up so much committing my crime. I realized that everyone I touched was a ripple effect. They were victims of my crime. I feel like that I let everyone down.
She didn't need prison to break her addiction. What do we want to do? Do we want to prepare them to be the best citizens they can be when they come out? Or do we want to sort of have these people that are completely lost because the world has passed them by? If we put people in prison for a shorter period of time, they would not become as institutionalized, and they would be able to assimilate much easier when they get out. It makes sense to try to help somebody when they need it most. The people that we're letting out really aren't scary people, and they're people like Dana Bowerman who deserve a second chance and should have been let out a long time ago.
I left a lot of people behind that don't deserve to be there. They're no threat. All they want to do is go out and see their grandchildren born or spend time with their kids. Not everyone is bad. They just need a second chance.